And welcome back to Politics.
Hello.
Although I call it Politrix, and my name is Presh.
And I'm Todd.
And this is our year-end wrap-up episode for 2023.
Yeah.
So I want to make this a somewhat evergreen episode, so I won't really do cleanup from last week.
Okay.
Because I have a few things that we made mistakes that I want to go back on.
Yeah.
But there's this one thing where I said that there's a Rick and Morty copy pasta. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
So I just wanted to quote it.
Okay.
Just so everyone is familiar with it, and maybe I can refer to this again in the future, right? So, quote, "To be fair, you have to have a very high Q to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of theoretical physics, most of the jokes will go over a typical viewer's head. There's also Rick's nihilistic outlook, which is deftly woven into his characterization. His personal philosophy draws heavily from Narodnaya Volya literature. For instance, the fans understand this stuff. They have the intellectual capacity to truly appreciate the depths of these jokes, to realize that they're not just funny, there's something deep about life. And life is in all capitals. As a consequence, people who dislike Rick and Morty truly are idiots. Which are in capitals again. In both cases, he is capitalizing the wrong thing. They say something deep should be in capitals, right?
Yes.
Truly should be either truly or idiots should be in capitals, but he chose are. But anyway, sorry, I'm not here to criticize his typing. Of course, they wouldn't appreciate, for instance, the humor in Rick's existential catchphrase, wabba-lubba-dub-dub, which itself is a cryptic reference to Turgenev's Russian epic Fathers and Sons. I'm smirking right now, just imagining one of those adult-patted simpletons scratching their heads in confusion as Dan Harmon's genius wit unfolds itself on their television screens. What fools! How I pity them. And it's the crying laughing emoji. The crying laughing where you're like, it's like your face is forward. It's not like to the side, you know? Right?
The straight cry laugh.
Yes.
Versus the ruffle.
Alright, then this is his... He made like a line ending, and this is his second point. And yes, by the way, I do have a Rick and Morty tattoo. And no, you cannot see it. It's for the ladies' eyes only. And even then, they have to demonstrate that they're within 5 IQ points of my own. Preferably lower. Beforehand. Nothing personal, kid. And the emoji with like the glasses. Now, by the way, he spelled personal as personnel, which is the personnel is the people at work. Like, but yes, this is great. I think about this all the time. It's just like a kid show. It's an animated cartoon for teens, and he's like, actually, this says something truly deep about life, blah, 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 blah. Every time I think about this, I laugh. My favorite part is the humor in Rick's existential catchphrase, wabba-lubba-dub-dub, which itself is a cryptic reference to... And if it's a cryptic reference, it's probably not a reference, is it? It's just, if you had to jump through loops to make sure, like, to make it fit, you know, it probably isn't a reference, is it? But whatever. I just thought that's fucking funny as hell. This came out, like, I don't know, in 2017 maybe. So it's been, like, spinning around in my brain all the time. Anytime somebody mentions Rick and Morty, I'm like, you don't have the ability to appreciate it, yeah. And this is why people say they hate the Rick and Morty fan base.
Okay.
This is just one person, but this is endemic of the culture surrounding them. Watching a TV show makes you better than other people in their minds. Which, you know what, they're right, sorry. Sorry for criticizing them and making fun of his word choices. He's right. He watches a TV show, we don't watch TV. Nobody else has access to televisions around the world, it's him. He's the only one.
Just him.
Right. So, we're not doing the usual news and, you know, our segment.
Yeah.
Right? So, we're just going to be doing the... Well, I don't want to say awards because some of these are negative things. So, what we decided to do is have a common 5 categories, which is just, you know, the 4 actors, actor, actress, best supporting for the 2. and Best Picture.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of assumed Best Picture and Best Director are
The same.
intertwined, right? There's certain people who are hardliners for that. They're like, how can you not be the best director if you directed the best movie?
Yeah.
But I don't do that in my personal life.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the podcast's stance that it's a hardline thing, right? So there's 5 common ones. Then I do a minimum of 5, and you do a minimum of 5.
Yes.
So in the worst case scenario, we both have the exact same categories.
Yes.
And we only have 10 categories.
Yes.
The 5 that are common, and then the 5 that we both...
that we both independently thought of.
So, a minimum of 10, and we both said a minimum of 5 each for us. So,
Yes.
you could have done like 15.
Yeah.
I could have done like 6. Or 5 on the dot.
Yeah.
Or, 100 million.
100 million.
Yes. The thing is, from the time we spoke about this till now, I don't think you could have done 100 million in one. So I'm capping it at 100 million only. So yeah, unless you're just very quick. Maybe you asked that quizzically because I'm underestimating you. That's what you're saying.
I've actually got 100 million in 2.
All right. So do you want to do the common ones first, or do you just want to go in random order?
I would say do the common ones first.
All right. So which one do you want to start with?
Let's go for best actor.
Sure. So just go actor, actress, supporting actress, supporting actress.
Yeah.
All right. And then, I want to save best picture for last.
Yeah.
Okay. So first 4, and then we'll go through. Right.
Right.
So best actor, read out your nominees.
Oh, I didn't do nominees.
You just gave a winner.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, let me go through my nominees, and then we can, speak about the winner.
Okay.
So first of all, I have Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon.
Okay.
Which, I've just been seeing over the past couple of weeks that people hate Napoleon.
Yeah.
People, they more hate it for the historical inaccuracy.
Yeah.
And they're making fun of Joaquin Phoenix in this movie because, we didn't really mention it in our episode, but he does, these weird, pig noises.
Yeah.
To signify he wants to have sex with his wife.
Yeah.
He goes, which I found hilarious, but people are making fun of it. And they say it sucks, but I loved it. I thought this was an outstanding performance.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned in the episode, better than Beau is Afraid. Even though I prefer Beau is Afraid as the movie.
Yeah.
Secondly, I have Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario.
Okay.
It's not the direct episode before this because we have some commentaries coming in.
Yeah.
But the last episode that we recorded.
Yes.
A phenomenal performance in a phenomenal movie.
In a phenomenal.
Yes, in a good movie. He's I don't know how to say this. It's not subtle.
Yeah.
And it's not too over the top. It's just that perfect sweet spot where I'm like, this is this is kind of perfect. You're hitting that sweet spot that I'm just tingling, or it's making my bones tingle. I'm getting such a great vibe from this.
It's the Goldilocks zone of acting.
Yes. Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, or in Oppenheimer, I should say, in.
Yeah.
Right. I think I've been underrating this performance.
Okay.
So I only watched it once in theaters.
Right.
And last week I rewatched it.
Okay.
Just to, in preparation for this show.
Yeah.
And yes, he's doing so much eye acting. He has very piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
And he uses it very well. Because, you can have piercing blue eyes, but you don't do anything with it. You do fuck all. So, I'm glad he is very subtle. As opposed to Nicolas Cage, who's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, not all over the place, but a much more alert and energized performance compared to Cillian. And I underrated it, but he definitely deserves to be in this 5?
I can say that this top 3 were considered by me
Okay.
as well. So,
Very nice.
yeah.
Barry Keoghan in Saltburn.
Okay, that was not considered by me.
So I only watched this very recently.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this. This movie came out like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And it came out on streaming like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, again, just in preparation for this episode, I watched Saltburn.
Right.
Which has been getting rave reviews. The movie, I think, is kind of dumb.
Okay.
But this performance is wonderful.
Okay.
Very similar to Promising Young Woman, Emerald. Oh, it's the same director.
Right.
Emerald Fennell.
Okay.
In Promising Young Woman, Carey Mulligan is phenomenal. I think she was nominated for Best Actress,
Oh.
but I can't remember right now. But the movie itself, I thought, was very strong until the third act, which kind of falls apart. Similarly here, it's somewhat of a mystery.
Okay.
And in the third act, it kind of falls apart. But Barry Keoghan, he's the Joker in the Robert Pattinson universe.
Yeah.
He phenomenal.
Okay.
I've enjoyed him. I keep saying phenomenal. But he was. There's a great scene where he like dances around the house naked. You see full hog. It's that's not why I'm nominating him, but I just thought he was great.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Then TOU in Past Lives.
Right.
Which, if Cillian Murphy is understated,
Yeah.
this guy is he's on the border of like, like I said in the by the way, the guy who's the main character in that racing movie, I want to say Grand Prix, but it's not.
Gran Turismo.
The main character in Gran Turismo is a supporting character in Saltburn.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And I called him a charisma vacuum in
Gran
Turismo.
Yeah.
But he's pretty great in Saltburn.
Okay.
Similarly, TOU, I see how somebody else may say he is like lacking charisma.
Yeah.
But I think that's an intentional choice to play him as like this understated, very like, he's not an excitable guy. He's like one of those strong, steady kind of guys.
Okay.
And I think it's a very intentional choice, and I love this movie and I loved him in it. So yeah, can we speak about the winner?
Yeah.
Who's your winner?
My winner is Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario.
Which is mine as well. So I was gonna say we should like at the end of every category like kind of debate who
who the winner.
Yes.
Or like why they are the winner.
No, like you have one, I have one, and then we can argue, right? But for this one, we have the same person, so pretty great, right? So in agreement. Well, you didn't say anything. I've already said my piece about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, so originally I was thinking it's just recency bias. I'd seen Dream Scenario most recently, and so
similarly, sorry to interrupt. A lot of my picks here, I'm wondering if it's just recency bias. So, but then again, we only had like about a week to put it together. So obviously, stuff that's closer to your mind, you're going to think about more. Yeah. But yes, sorry to interrupt. Yes, carry on.
But then I went back and I didn't watch the movies, but I looked through my notes on them again.
Yeah, similarly, yeah.
And in my notes, I was just raving about Nicolas Cage. So much more than Joaquin Phoenix and Cillian Murphy in their respective movies. Yes. And so I thought that the best choice would be Nicolas Cage.
Yes. And, well, it shouldn't be the case, but a lot of people, like me, we also think about the story.
Yeah.
So Nicolas Cage, he won for Leaving Las Vegas in the 90s.
Yeah.
And he has this career where he's become a meme and people make fun of him, right? Yes. And now in the Nicolas Cage Renaissance, where he's been in just outstanding movies, outstanding performances in outstanding movies.
Yeah.
Pig, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, this movie, he's just had a very, very good run. recently.
Yeah.
And I think that would be, it would be wonderful to cap that with an Oscar for Dream Scenario.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Any other things to say?
Not about this.
Okay. So can we move on to Best Actress?
Yeah.
All right. Am I gonna have to give mine again? The explanations first. Do you only have a winner for every category?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't think it through.
Jennifer Lawrence, No Hard Feelings. I love this movie.
Okay.
I thought it was a great comedy. Just her, she's like a tour de force.
Okay.
And they don't really make these kind of movies anymore. These actor-led comedies.
Yeah.
Where they're just selling it entirely on the name of the actors.
Yeah.
And yes, I thought this was a throwback to a time, maybe like even 4 or 5 years ago. not that the best ones were coming out 4 or 5 years ago, that they were still making them 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
But yes, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed her performance. She's a perennial Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
She's already won for, I think, either Silver Linings Playbook or what's that other fucking one she's in?
I don't know. She's been in a few movies.
American Hustle. I think, yeah, but whatever the case is, I think she deserves a nomination.
Okay.
Next thing is Greta Lee. I said TOU in Past Lives.
Yeah.
Greta Lee is the standout in Past Lives.
Okay.
She is like, I don't know, it's like a breath of fresh air. I don't know how to explain it precisely, but I said that TOU is very low on charisma. It's because Greta Lee is doing all the heavy lifting.
Right.
Like I said, I do appreciate what he's doing, but she's kind of like the energetic one.
Yeah.
Well, she's not that energetic, but more so than him.
Right.
Right? There's another character I'm going to talk about just now.
Okay.
But yes, I thought she was great. And I just loved this movie so much.
Right.
Right. Next, I have Carey Mulligan in Maestro.
Okay.
Which I spoke about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say the same thing I said in that episode. It's the perfect movie to demonstrate the bad acting and good acting. Because Carey Mulligan is amazing.
Right.
She is the best in that movie.
Okay.
And you have Bradley Cooper, who is horribly overacting. Right?
And, the perfect combo, yes.
Yes, so I think if you just watch that movie, you see what he's doing and you see what she's doing, and you see the gap in between like a good and a bad actor. Well, yeah. I don't think Bradley Cooper's a bad actor. I think he just made some bad choices in this role.
Right.
Oh, let me not say bad choices. Choices that I disagree with in this role.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
So, yes, Carey Mulligan, phenomenal.
Right.
And another time I use that word. Next, we have Mia Goth in Infinity Pool.
Okay.
And I said we dealing with recency bias.
Yeah.
This came out in January.
Okay.
And it's been kind of, at the back of my mind the whole year. Mia Goth is one of my new favorite actresses.
Okay.
But she's kind of like, okay, she's in A24 movies, but not the good ones. She was in a movie called X, which I thought was dog shit.
Okay.
The prequel to X is called Pearl,
yeah,
which I thought was way better, and she's great in it.
Right.
She's a supporting character in X, and she's the main character in Pearl.
Okay.
Actually, she might be the main character in X as well. But,
right.
Well, should I spoil it?
Yeah, I would.
It's like a horror movie, and she's the one that survives at the end.
Oh.
So I guess she's the main character.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. But she was in a movie this year with Baby Cronenberg.
Okay.
Do you know who Baby Cronenberg is?
Nope.
Fuck, I forget his name. Oh, Brandon Cronenberg. He is the son of David Cronenberg, legendary horror director.
Okay. Is
it horror? Well, yeah, it's like body horror. Because I don't feel like scared in his movies. I just feel like more disgusted.
Yeah.
That's not horror,
Yeah.
It's disgusting. That should be its own genre, the disgusting genre. But yes, Baby Cronenberg made a horror movie called Infinity Pool.
Okay.
Which I don't want to spoil. Very cool sci-fi movie.
Okay.
And she's great in it. She does, you know, it walks the fine line of she's overacting.
Right.
She's just in that perfect zone, and similarly to Nicolas Cage, but I don't think she was as good.
Okay.
Right. Who's your... fuck me. One more nominee.
Yeah.
Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Which I don't think she was the standout.
Okay.
But she was good. And yeah, she held her own against DiCaprio and De Niro. So, pretty great.
Yeah.
Do you have a winner?
It was actually Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Fair enough. I have Carey Mulligan in Maestro as the winner.
Okay.
But seeing as we both have Lily Gladstone nominated, we can just agree that she's the winner. Right? I love Carey Mulligan.
Yeah.
But Lily Gladstone is not that far off her that I would be upset or be like, oh, that's a robbery if she were to win. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, right.
Best supporting actor. Should I even go through it? I know I have a clear winner.
Yes.
Let me just go through it. That's fucked up of me.
Okay.
Right. Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Who's gonna be the winner? So sorry. Sorry to spoil, but fuck it hell. We mentioned on the episode that's the best performance he's given in many, many years.
Yeah.
I want to say since Chaplin in the 80s, 90s.
Which is a very long time ago.
Yes. The entire movie is a denouncement of the superhero genre.
Yeah.
So getting him in was, wonderful stunt casting, but you can't control for the fact that he gives this towering performance that, like, you don't think like there'd be a villain in this, or you think the villain would be like Harry Truman, who is in it, but he's not the villain. And he carries this movie for me.
Okay.
He's just the best. Well, he doesn't have that much screen time.
Yeah.
And he still stands out so hugely to me.
He must be doing something right.
Yeah. So once again, he's going to be my winner. But
okay.
Next we have Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
If this were like maybe last year, he would have probably won it.
Yeah.
It's just very unfortunate Downey is in the pocket this year. Alright. Like we mentioned on the episode, it's one of his best in years. Best performances in years, I should say.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about the story.
Yeah.
De Niro, similarly, you know what I said, we don't know comedy De Niro.
Yeah.
We do know comedy De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Actually, yes.
You and I grew up in the era where what he only did was comedies.
Yeah.
Whereas in the 70s and 80s, he was known as this avant-garde, starring in serious movies actor.
Yeah.
He would I want to say he was perennially nominated, but he wasn't really.
Yeah.
He was nominated for, I think, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, which I think he won, and Godfather 2, which he won for Best Supporting.
Okay.
So it would be this, a wonderful end to a career. Well, I don't know how many more movies he has in him, but like, early in his career and very late on in his career, he wins the Oscar.
Yeah.
That would be...
It gets capped very nicely.
Yeah. The same thing I said about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
De Niro has gone through a similar thing, but not as... Well, he was in Bad Grandpa, which a lot of people cite as like one of the worst movies of the 2010s. So, like I said, for our generation, we don't view him as that towering actor. And this, I think, would solidify him for like another generation.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we have Mahershala Ali in Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
I mentioned this in the Dream Starter episode.
Yeah.
Sam Esmail movie. He's another just perennial Oscar nominee because he's always great. He's always just giving you, the best fucking performance.
Yeah.
Again, he has a very small role here. He's in pretty much most of the movie.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do much. And to be fair, this is the only Leave the World Behind nomination I'm giving, because all of them, even though I adored the movie, all of them like didn't have much to do.
Right.
I wouldn't say.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
No.
I'm not saying they didn't have a lot to do. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
But he just all the time,
Yeah.
just hitting it out of the park. So just definite nomination.
Yeah.
Next, I have Hugh Grant in Jonker, who has the Oompa Loompa. I had such an amazing time with him. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, this guy is great. When he like does a little dance.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, it's just charming.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't say too much more about that. That's just that's his signature thing, being charming. I don't know if you know his 90s run.
No.
Okay, but that was just his one move. In every movie, he's just kind of like a mess. Like his hair will be a mess and everything's going wrong in his life, but like a woman will come along and he's just the most charming guy in the world. And it's like in Pretty Woman, is it Pretty Woman? No, it's Notting Hill.
Okay.
Julia Roberts falls in love with him. it's just based on charm, or as in modern day we'd call it Riz.
Oh.
Like Rizzler, you know, the paper.
Yeah.
The paper rolled cigarettes with, like that. Riz.
Yes.
Finally, I have John Majaro in Past Lives.
Okay.
He's the third in the... Like, I think this got the most nominations for me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? At least so far. The three of them, it's a love triangle.
Right.
And he's the most energetic, you know what I was saying?
Yeah.
Where she's caught in this thing between this one guy who's a very, you know, like I said, stoic, very like strong type.
Yeah.
And this guy who's like is a little bit more manic, a little bit like he cracks jokes more.
Right.
But the first guy is a lot like he's more attractive.
Okay.
And she grew up with him.
Oh.
John Majaro is like who she met later in life and fell in love with.
The new kid on the block.
Yes. And they're actually married.
Oh.
I don't want to, again, spoil it too much because, well, you can't really spoil it. It's one of those, like, love stories.
Yeah.
It's not, like, relying on a twist in the same way that, I don't know, like a Marvel movie would.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, a cameo.
Yeah.
Right? It's yeah. So, like I mentioned, Downey Jr. winner. Who did you have?
I had Robert De Niro.
Yeah. And this is where I'm gonna fight.
Okay.
You know, you gotta choose your battles, and this is it.
This is a battle.
Say your piece.
So, for me, it was, like you said, Robert De Niro has been a lot more comedic within our lifetime specifically. So, for me, it was really kind of refreshing to see him take on a more serious role. And I loved his performance specifically. Like, going into that more stoic role. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why he won for me.
Yeah. I like his accent.
Okay.
It doesn't slip at all once throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I'm giving in. Because I don't really want to argue. I've said my piece already. There's nothing else I can bring out that's like, oh, but what about this? I've said what I had to say about Downey. I've said what I had to say about De Niro.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of opinion that, I prefer one, you prefer the other.
Yeah.
They're both... I nominated them both, so I obviously hold them both in esteem.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
Supporting actress.
Okay.
So I thought this was a very poor year for supporting actress.
Yeah.
I was going through all the movies I watched and I couldn't come up with many, so I only have 4 nominees
Okay.
instead of the usual 5.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I have Patti LuPone in Beau is Afraid.
Okay.
Who's the mother of Beau.
Right. Yeah.
She's in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But she's amazing. She has this outstanding monologue.
Yeah.
And yeah, just liked it a lot.
Fair enough.
Then we have Viola Davis in the Younger Games.
Yeah.
Which it's a combination of her costumes, the writing, her performance, but she is outstanding.
Right.
I loved her. She's probably the standout of that movie for me.
Yeah.
It's yeah, the scenes that she's in, she put the movie on her back and just carried it.
Yeah.
It's you know that story where like I was walking on the beach with Jesus.
Yeah.
And then there were only 2 footprints because he abandoned me.
Yeah.
And then guess what? He was carrying you. And that was Viola Davis for this movie. Where you only saw 1 set of footprints in the sand, that was Viola Davis carrying the Younger Games. Alright. Then I have Iman Vellani.
You can do it.
Iman Vellani for the Marvels.
There it is.
She played Miss Marvel. Like I said for Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
This is just on charm alone. She was obviously the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Everything I said for Hugh Grant goes double for Iman Vellani. She in a I don't think it's a horrible movie.
Yeah.
But it's not great. And in that not greatness, she's the reason why it's not great.
Right.
I mean, I understand the sentence that I said where
Yeah,
I said she's the reason it's not great.
Yes.
No, she's the reason it's not horrific, and
Right.
it's only not great. That's what I'm saying. It's she brought it up. She brought up the whole
The movie.
The movie. She was such a shining light in it, and I hope she gets like a bigger role in the future.
Yeah.
Well, this is very similar to what happened in the comics.
Okay.
People were like, well, because obviously Carol, she stopped being Miss Marvel, she became Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And so they had the character of Miss Marvel open.
Okay.
And when they created Kamala Khan in like 2010 or whatever,
Yeah.
it's people hated her.
Right.
And then like over time, just her charisma just like won people over, and like she's one of the, at the moment, she's a very beloved character in the comics.
Right.
And similarly, I think in the movies they got such a great actress to that embodies that same feeling.
Yeah.
At least to me.
Yeah.
Then I have Tilda Swinton in The Killer.
Okay.
I'll speak about The Killer at another place, but she is in like a nice 5-minute segment.
Okay.
And she's doing Tilda Swinton things. She's like, it's, I don't want to be rude, but she has a very like plain face.
Okay.
So you don't expect her to be as expressive as she is.
Right.
She's very good with face acting.
Right.
But again, like I said, you wouldn't expect it, but she is.
Yeah.
And she, in only 5 minutes of screen time, I thought she was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, it's only 4 nominees. My winner is Patti LuPone for Beau is Afraid.
You're not gonna believe this.
Who do you have?
Patti LuPone in Beau is Afraid.
I thought you hated that movie.
I did, but she was so good.
It transcends the...
It transcends the dislike of the
hatred.
movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, not really.
All right.
That was about it.
Okay, so let's go from the beginning. Our own personal topics.
Right.
Do you want to start or should I start?
I can start.
Okay, so start.
So, my first point, I guess, is the biggest surprise.
All right. Well, I have the same category, but well, I have them as 2 categories.
Okay.
One is biggest disappointment. One is biggest surprise. Because surprise can be positive or negative.
Yeah.
And I'm using that word surprise in a positive sense.
Yeah, we've got the same points.
All right. So, what Well, do you want to go from 5 to 1? However you want to do it.
I have once again only done a winner.
Okay. I'll go through mine, right?
Okay.
Number 5, The Pope's Exorcist.
Okay.
Oh, I should say before this, right?
Right.
There can't be any expectations.
Okay.
I can't be like, oh, this A24 movie was great.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
I'm expecting an A24 movie to be great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it has to just, I wasn't expecting anything, and then, boom, this thing just, got me.
Yeah.
First of all, The Pope's Exorcist.
Okay.
You told me it was garbage.
I didn't enjoy it, yes.
You said it was bad.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny. So Russell Crowe is having a ball. Yes, I really love Russell Crowe. It was very hard to not put him in my best actor category, but it is what it is.
Okay.
This movie only somewhat broke my heart.
Okay.
Because if you remember in the trailer, they say, if you have a problem with me, take it up with my boss. ... The Pope. In the movie, though, those are split into two separate things. Where he says, "If you have a problem with me, take it up with my boss." End of the scene.
Yeah.
Something happens in the movie. The Pope. So it kind of broke my heart. They didn't say the line, but I still had like a unbelievable time with it in comparison to what I expected.
Yeah.
So, The Pope's Exorcist, number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, The Sound of Freedom, which you wouldn't think. When I first heard about it, again, I was told that this is right-wing dross.
Right.
And it is right-wing dross.
Okay.
But it's, very well shot. I mentioned this in whatever recommendation segment I was doing.
Yeah.
It is right-wing dross, but it's very well shot. The acting is bad.
Okay.
But I just had a ball with this movie, right?
Right.
And the white hat pedophile, where he's like, he's the guy helping the main guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was at a hotel once.
Yeah.
And I was with this girl. It turned out she was 12. And it's like, oh, so you should be in jail then. Oh, what the hell are you doing here, bro? Who put you in charge of this mission to find more children? You know what? You should be on a watch list.
Although, he would be the best at finding children.
I'm gonna move on. I'm just gonna ignore that. Jesus. But yes, that made me laugh in the movie. Number 3, Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Which, again, no expectations. I planned on not watching that movie and never watching that movie.
Yeah.
Because I have no affinity for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I've just seen it in the TV show Stranger Things.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I've maybe wanted to play it once.
Okay.
But just for the experience.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not... who would we have as the dungeon master? I don't know who's that committed. Yeah. I'm that committed, but I don't know the rules. And I'd like to be a player, not the dungeon master. Dungeon master is an experienced player.
Yeah.
So I want to at least play, instead of being the dungeon master.
Yeah.
And this movie was way more fun than I thought it was. Way just better than it has any right to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, just a ball.
Right.
A soccer ball. Jabulani, the soccer ball from the 2010 World Cup. That's what I had. A ball with it. Right, then in second place, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Mutant Mayhem. Okay. And I thought this movie took Spider-Verse's Lunch Bunny. Right?
It beat it up and it took its Lunch Bunny.
Spider-Verse in 2018, well, I'm going to mention it later, but that was such a breath of fresh air. That was a hard 10.
Yeah.
Amazing movie.
Yeah.
The sequel I thought was kind of sucked.
Okay.
So I thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles using that different types of animation.
Yeah.
Such a interesting story.
Yeah.
It was It's the Spider-Verse 2018 of 2023. In the year where there was another Spider-Verse movie. This was the Spider-Verse of the year.
Right.
I think.
Okay.
And in first place, I have Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Which... I've only had negative connotations towards the Transformers movie.
Okay.
Right? Because it's Michael Bay and all of them suck shit.
Yeah.
And I watched this. I begrudgingly watched this because of the pod.
Right.
And I had a blast. I was... Because I know I say I go in with like an open mind.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you have preconceived notions going in.
Yeah.
And when it just like stomped on all those conceived notions and just I was having such a blast.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't realize you're having fun while you're having fun, you know, it just takes over you.
Yeah.
And it like, yeah, I found out later that the director
Yeah.
is also the director who made Creed 2.
Oh, nice.
So I like him a lot as a filmmaker, and my favorite maybe thing in a movie this year was when Bumblebee jumps out of the plane and that song plays where it's like, I think it's like, don't call it a comeback.
Yeah.
That, yes.
Yeah.
What a ball.
Yeah.
Yes, so much of fun. So yes, biggest surprise of the year. What is yours?
For me, originally it was between Dungeons and Dragons and Renfield.
Okay.
Because I had never heard of Renfield until you suggested it. And I watched it and I had so much fun with it. Like in my mind it wasn't a 10, obviously. I think I gave it like a 7 or something.
Yeah.
But
way better than you thought.
Yeah. It was much, much better than I thought. The story was so, what's the word? Engrossing, I guess. Like it's very similar to your Transformers thing, where I was like, this movie, I don't know, it probably won't be great going into it. And then suddenly I'm engrossed and an hour's flown by. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm having fun here. This is good fun.
You were flown by.
I was flown by, yes.
I don't even know what that means.
An hour has flown by.
No, you said you were flown by.
No.
That's why I was like, what plane? Who took you away? That's why I was, confused about what you said there.
Okay, wait, hold on. And?
Let's check the tape. It's me, Tyler, I'm a dickhead. Okay, so I don't know why I cut to that, but okay. Yes, carry on.
But yeah, I really, really loved it. I loved the necks. Both the necks were very, very good in it. One is Dracula, one is Renfield.
Yes, I know. I watched the movie.
I'm just making sure. And I loved the whole idea of kind of diving into toxic relationships, although doing it differently.
Doing it in the form of a vampire.
Yeah.
Doing it, and not just a vampire, the Prince of Darkness himself.
But
the most abusive relationship you can have.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my biggest surprise of the year.
Oh, very nice. So mine is biggest disappointment of the year.
Okay.
The flip side of that.
Yeah.
Did you have this category?
I did, yes.
So, so far we are in the worst case scenario. All we have is the same stuff.
Yeah. So far.
Can I go through it first?
Yeah, go for it.
So, similarly, I have a rule, right?
Okay.
Well, the other one, I have to have no expectations. This one, I have to have expectations, right?
Yeah.
I can't go into it like not knowing anything, or it has to like be a sequel or like from a director I love, or like something,
Right.
So, number 5, Rebel Moon.
Okay. You were excited for it.
Now the listeners don't know what I'm talking about. Or do they? But I think the commentary for this is going to come out after this episode.
No, I believe the commentary for Rebel Moon comes out first.
Okay. Either way, I was very excited for Rebel Moon.
Okay.
I thought, okay, Zack Snyder, he is unshackled from the Warner Brothers Corporation, who were allegedly, making cut down his movies.
Yeah.
He has complete creative freedom on Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do.
Right.
And it was such a huge step down. The CGI looked awful.
Yeah.
Not a well thought out movie. It just, left me feeling sour.
Okay.
Then, number 4, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Okay.
Which I'm such a huge fan of Indiana Jones I'm such a huge fan of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
I like the other movies, but Temple of Doom is that's my number one.
Yeah.
Well, my number one, maybe Steven Spielberg movie.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, but added to that, because the thing is, they're not getting Spielberg back, they're not getting Lucas back.
Yeah.
The director they did get was James Mangold.
Yes.
And I'm a huge Mangold fan. He made Logan.
Right.
Which, candidate for the best superhero movie ever made.
Okay.
Logan is phenomenal.
Right.
Use that word again. But it's been quite a while since I did, so fuck you, listeners. I'm allowed to use a word twice. Yeah. So, in relation to what I was hoping, very poor.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I could move it higher, but the next 3 are kind of locked in as yes, even bigger disappointment. So number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
Which we spoke about it on the episode. I hold the first Guardians movie in such high esteem. It's my favorite Marvel, MCU movie.
Yeah.
I think it's also the best one, but that's just personal opinion.
Yeah.
It shocked me how bad it was in relation to the others.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a minority opinion. A lot of people loved Volume 3.
Right.
But to me, it was such a big step down. So the first movie I have as a 10.
Yeah.
The second one I jump between like an 8 and a 9.
Okay.
Usually lay on an 8.
Yeah.
And this one is a 6. So it's been going down in 2s.
Yeah.
But the other one was at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is a 6. This was so not a good capper to the Guardians. And obviously James Gunn has gone to DC now.
Yeah.
So that was the end of his Guardians trilogy. And I thought it went out on such a whimper.
Yeah.
But again, that's just personal opinion. Other people like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I have The Killer, which is David Fincher's newest movie.
Yeah.
And I went through his filmography.
Yeah.
Because of Blank Check. And seeing The Killer in relation to his past couple of movies, so disappointing.
Okay.
It's not good. Well, it is a good movie.
Okay.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
So it's fine, but it's not. Fincher is just banging out 10s for fun.
Yeah.
He's one of he's like, I thought The Killer and Oppenheimer would be going at it, for my best movie of the year, and it's nowhere near in the conversation for best movie of the year.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
And I thought it would be. That's the that's the point of biggest disappointment of the year. Right?
Yeah.
Number 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
I thought
fair enough.
Was good, but again, the first Spider-Verse changed the game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, okay, let me take that back in about changing the game. It changed the game for me.
Okay.
I didn't used to take notice of animation.
Yeah.
And that, was one of the things that clicked in my mind. Oh, actually, you can be creative. You can do so many new things. You don't have to be boxed in with the usual animation style.
Right.
And then the way this one is just so crap.
Yeah.
And my friend swears by it. He's like, this is the best movie of the year. It's better than the first one. And he told me Miles Morales is his Spider-Man.
Oh.
Not Peter Parker.
Oh.
So I was like, wow.
Damn.
I like Miles as well, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But this movie, come on, Jack. let's be serious now. It was a huge disappointment for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Your one.
My most disappointing movie of the year was Gran Turismo. I had huge expectations for it. Like, it's Gran Turismo was a game series that I grew up on. I think it was the first, like Gran Turismo 4, I think, was the first racing game I ever played. And it's pretty much responsible for getting me into cars, right? But the problem with the movie isn't the movie itself. It's it's kind of the movie itself. It's the dramatic liberties that they took in creating the movie.
Yes.
Because it's based on a true story.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
True story. It's based on a true story.
Bro,
Yeah.
you know how many fucking times they told us it's based on a true story? That's the one thing I fucking know about it.
What? Oh yeah, yes.
Every single poster has based on a true story.
Yeah.
Before the movie started, this is based on a true story. All they did was hammer into us what a true story it is, bro.
Yeah.
But yes, I had no idea until you
Until
told me
this
now.
moment,
Oh yes.
yes.
I thought it was all fake. Yes. Carry on.
But
Why? What liberties did they take?
there's a lot of different stuff. Like it's like the flying car, which
You told me that was fine. That's what happened.
well, yeah, it is what happened. But the kind of aftermath of that, where they blamed him for the car instead of the engineers that worked on it.
So are you saying that didn't happen in real life?
Yeah, because it's entirely the company's fault. It's the team's fault that the car flew.
So in real life, the team got in trouble,
Yeah,
and he didn't get in trouble.
yeah, because it's not his fault.
But they did the opposite in the movie.
yeah,
Okay. So what's upsetting about that?
it's just I didn't like that they did it like that, because they could have done the team instead, and I don't know, had it play out very similarly.
This is very surprising.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Tell me something. Are you an engineer?
Not yet, but I'm on my way there.
You're starting to become an engineer.
Yeah.
Now, this movie is saying it's the driver's fault. The engineers were. The engineers did nothing wrong. So are you identifying with the car driver like, oh, they're throwing this guy underneath the bus? Yeah, you're the engineer. They should be doing it on behalf of you. They should be saying this fucking idiot. That's why I'm surprised you're siding with the driver.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But you're what's the word? Like, you don't have a side. You look at what's right and what's wrong and you choose.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right.
And yeah, it was very, very disappointing for me. But yeah, that's it for my most disappointing category.
Well, I gave it in order.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Your next one?
My next one is the most disturbing movie that I've watched this year.
Okay. So, I don't have this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was not thinking about what disturbed me. Sorry.
I just so there was how do I describe it? Like, I don't watch many disturbing movies, but for the pod I've been watching a lot more of them.
Okay, yes.
And so mine this year was Talk to Me.
Talk to the end.
Yeah, Talk to the Hand. I just, it was a lot of the I don't know if you can really call it, like body horror. It's not really body horror.
It's just a horror movie, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like physical horror. Like the kid bangs his head into a desk.
Yeah.
And they have a whole lot of like, not jitters, but like twitches, I guess, when they're possessed. That really kind of freaked me out. And so for me, that was the most disturbing movie of the year.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I have an answer.
Okay.
Well, you could Maybe you can hear the mouse clicking on. But I was checking, some things.
Yeah.
And I would say the most disturbing movie is Beau is Afraid.
Okay.
Which,
fair enough.
This guy, his mother has been telling him his whole life that when he has an orgasm, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And you see his balls are huge. And like, at the end of the movie, he finally has sex.
Yeah.
And he doesn't die. And you think, phew, that's so cool. Maybe it was all a lie. And then the person he's having sex with dies. And their body goes like into rigor mortis while on top of him. That's I would point out that that's maybe a little bit more disturbing than the talk to me or talk to Dan.
I get that.
All right. Me.
Yeah.
So I thought, what is the dominant force of our time?
Okay.
The comic book movie.
Fair enough.
And I thought, let's rank the comic book movie. All the superhero movies is from this year.
Okay.
And number 5, I had the Marvels as a 6.
Okay.
Which two whole points is just for Iman Vellani. We spoke about it earlier with her performance, but I thought this movie wasn't great.
Right.
There was some interesting creative sequences.
Okay.
But on the whole, it didn't deliver. Well, I didn't really have expectations, but the first movie made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So you'd assume there'd be like at least something there.
Yeah.
And it was horrific.
There was no billion to be had.
Then in 4th place I had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, also a 6.
Okay.
Which shows you how bad of a year it was.
Yeah.
One of my huge disappointments made the best of comic books list.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's only a handful of comic book movies every year.
Yeah.
But still, it's I think it's been a very down year for
comic book movies. Yeah.
And also the thing is, like in the 2010s, we used to have like X-Men movies, MCU movies, DC movies. Now because Marvel bought Fox, we don't have as many movies as we did in the 2010s per year.
Yeah.
Although Marvel itself is putting out the same number of movies, the industry around there is putting out less.
Yeah.
Right? Then in 3rd place I have Justice League Warworld, which is the animated movie. I spoke about it in the recommendations a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe months ago. Where there's like something that's the Justice League are in different realms.
Yeah.
And they break out and they team up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun. 2nd, I have Spider-Verse. Again, such a weird year where like this huge disappointment is the best of, it's in 2nd, but it's a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Which
I'm pretty sure I said the first one is a 10, this one is a 7.
Yeah.
So you can see what a huge drop off it is.
Yeah.
So I liked this movie-ish.
You kind of liked it in a way.
I can recognize that there's good filmmaking going on.
Okay.
But I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Again, because it's well made, but just in relation to the first one.
Yeah.
Huge disappointment. I was so kind of upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Then in 1st place we have Blue Beetle. Which
yeah.
I should have put this also on my biggest surprise.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really surprised. I'm kind of a Blue Beetle fan.
Okay.
I like a lot of superheroes. He's not like one of my top 10 guys, but I mean, I like him.
Yeah.
He's from, the first time I saw him was in Young Justice.
Yeah.
And that storyline, we spoke about it on the episode. Where the Reach are invading Earth.
Yeah.
So, I've liked Jaime Reyes.
Right.
And we also, the commentary we did, I saw him on The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Right? Big fan of him. So it's not a surprise that I like this.
Yeah.
It's a surprise that this is Well, we're watching Aquaman tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're watching. You're just driving me.
Oh. I don't know about this.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm driving you.
The thing is, I can't remember. I think I told both you and my brother that I need a lift. So,
okay.
Not one, I told both.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to see who's going to bite. Yes. Oh, I should say the reason I'm getting driven is because I'm drunk.
Okay.
Not getting drunk tomorrow, I'm drunk now.
You are literally
currently drunk. That's why I need a driver.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, Blue Beetle. Yes. Surprising, even though not the most surprising.
Yeah.
That I had such a good time with it. George Lopez, one of my favorite characters in comic book movies this year.
Yeah.
Yes, my number one comic book movie this year, Blue Beetle.
That is fair enough.
Do you have a...
my number one comic book.
And movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but I am. Everything I gave was superhero.
Yeah.
Based, but it's a comic book ranking.
Yeah.
So like The Killer could have been on the list.
Okay.
The Killer is based on a French comic.
Okay.
So just any comic. That's what I wanted to.
Right.
I wanted to tell you, so in case you thought I was only naming superheroes.
Yeah.
That it would be a superhero. I understand a lot of comics are superhero based.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But this is
just all comic books.
Yeah.
Like in the 2000s, we had A History of Violence by David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
We had Road to Perdition by Sam Mendes. Like, there's a lot of... The movie Old was based on a comic.
Huh.
We spoke about this, that it's a French comic.
We did.
Yes. But yes, any comic book.
Yeah.
Graphic novel too.
Okay, yeah, I don't
changed the game. You hadn't considered graphic novels.
Well, all the graphic novel things that I've watched have been series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watford?
No.
What?
There's this one called Lookism.
Okay.
It's based on a manhwa.
Alright.
And then, obviously, Attack on Titan.
Is manga... comic? Isn't it a different thing?
Yeah, it's very similar to manga. Well, it's very similar to comics, I would say.
Then why does it have a different name?
Because it's from a different place.
So the Japanese, they think they're fucking cooler than us.
Maybe.
Because they have fucking boats. Yes.
But my comic book movie of the year would be Across the Spider-Verse.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
had it tied for first, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, the top three are all sevens.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Or you agree with me, because I said it first.
Yeah.
And I'm a real Spider-Man fan, unlike certain co-hosts and the rest of the world. I can't believe people say I'm not a Spider-Man fan. Because I didn't like this movie. I didn't like, what's his name, Tom... and that rubbish Spider-Man movie. People say I'm not a real Spider-Man fan. It's a fucking shambles, mate.
It's very similar to, my dad.
Yeah.
He says he's a United fan. Yeah, you do know my dad. He says he's a United fan, but all he does is complain about United.
Well, he's right.
Yeah.
The thing is, if the team is doing bad, you want to point out how they're doing bad.
Yes.
So...
But he doesn't know anything about the
team. He made some good points to me yesterday.
When he trapped you.
No, I spoke to him.
Oh.
Basically, he says, why doesn't Thing play Regulon?
Yes.
Which is a fair point, because Luke Shaw has been playing centre back.
Yes.
But, whatever. Anyway,
yeah.
Yes, Into the Spider-Verse. I keep interrupting you, I'm sorry.
It's all good. I will survive. Anyway, my next category is Best Action Sequences. Yeah. And I feel like there's probably only one winner here. John Wick 4.
Which it's falling down the staircase.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the whole franchise just does fight sequences in a whole different way
to
everything else. And it's so refreshing to see. because, it only comes out every now and then.
Yeah.
So, in that time, we're getting all the regular, normal fight sequences. And then, boom, John Wick. And it's so very different. And I love it so, so much.
And it's a metaphor in it.
A metaphor?
Yeah. So he's going up the steps.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting knocked down, but he keeps getting up.
Oh,
and
yes.
there's no way out unless he uses the way out at the end of the movie. Yes, at the end of the movie he finds a way out. But the staircase is a metaphor for he keeps doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
He needs to find a different way to do it.
Right.
And the way he did that was from help from Donnie and Wink.
Well, we'll see what happens in John Wick 5.
Yeah.
If they
I can't believe they they end John Wick 4 in such a way that you think that's the end.
Yeah.
And then they announce John Wick 5 2 weeks later. Unreal. Carry on. I'm thinking, okay, for one scene, maybe the Guardians hallway fight.
Oh,
because again, this is your topic, so I haven't had time to think about this, whatever.
Yeah.
So the Guardians hallway fight, that could be one. Action scenes.
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon, where they're stabbing that guy.
Okay.
Saltburn, where Barry Keoghan dances naked. That was all action.
There was so much action in there.
Napoleon, where they they shoot the horse.
Oh yeah, that's also a very cool scene. Actually.
They shoot the horse and they drop people in the ocean.
Yeah.
Not the ocean, in the lake.
The frozen lake.
Yes. There's a few. There's a few good things.
Fair enough.
Is an action scene where Bumblebee jumps out of the plane. That's my number one. I got it. Because he jumps from the plane and starts shooting people.
Yeah.
And he jumps on somebody's back and lands on the floor. Who's like riding a person or
an Autobot. Well,
no, the opposite of an Autobot.
A
Decepticon. My next one.
Yeah.
Or are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one is best TV show.
Okay.
So I don't know how much TV you watched this year.
Not much.
Alright. So my number 5 is I Think You Should Leave season 3.
Okay.
Which I think you've seen this.
I haven't seen season 3 yet.
Okay.
Because I do this thing where I start a thing and then I'll just leave for a while and then later on come back to it.
Great stuff. That's the way Christopher Nolan intended you
Yes.
to watch.
Of course, yes.
Alright. Oh, it's me.
Yes.
The first 2 seasons I thought were like 10 out of 10.
Okay.
This season I thought was like an 8 out of 10. It took a step back, but it's still very, very funny. And, yeah.
Okay.
Like, if that's the number one show I recommend to people, because, like, people like to laugh, obviously.
Yeah, that is true. People do like to laugh.
Then at number 4, I have I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Which is an 8 out of 10. It's the new Boots Riley project.
Yes.
We spoke about this. He made Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Boots Riley. I'm a Virgo is like, it's a superhero TV show.
Yeah.
But it's about class consciousness.
Yes.
So very cool. Enjoyed that a lot.
Right.
Third, I have How To with Jonathan Wilson.
Okay.
Which, again, another one I spoke about on the pod.
Yeah.
Gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Okay.
You know how I talk about Nathan Fielder?
Yeah.
Nathan Fielder is the executive producer for this, and it's very similar to Nathan For You.
Okay.
And this was his final season because just like Nathan For You, it's very difficult to produce this type of content.
Okay.
So they're done with it, and yes, I think again, go watch it.
Okay.
Watch all of these, but I'm saying very, very good show.
Okay.
And unique. It's not one of these cookie cutter bullshit things.
Yeah.
Unique.
Right.
Number 2, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
No.
Well,
I know I said I watched Scott Pilgrim in preparation for this.
And then you never did the thing.
Yeah.
You just prepped.
Yeah.
But yes, again, you think it's just going to be a adaptation of the comic.
Yeah.
And it turns into this balls off the wall crazy TV show.
Yeah.
And they can do even more fun things in animation than they could in the live action one.
Yeah.
So, yes, 9 out of 10. A lot of fun.
Right.
Watch it.
Okay.
And number 1 is obvious.
Yeah.
Succession. Oh, 2023 is the year I became Succession pulled. It's I listen to the Succession theme song every day while I'm in the shower mainly. It's I don't know. You feel rich when you listen to it. It's such a powerful thing, you know. Like, I take back what I said about I think you should leave. Watch Succession. Just watch Succession, dude. It's so good. I'm really thinking about watching it again.
Okay.
Like, very soon, because yeah, I think about it every day.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the end of my segment. Do you have any TV shows you want to chat about?
Well,
I saw you pull it up on your iPad while I was speaking.
Yeah.
your list of TV shows.
Yeah. So, for me, it's between Black Mirror season 6.
What season came out?
Season 6.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? Was that this year?
I'm pretty sure it was this year. Okay, I can't tell you because it doesn't say when it was released. Yeah, 2023.
Okay.
So, yeah, I really... Well, sorry, wait. It's between Black Mirror Season 6 and Rick and Morty Season 7. I really like...
I didn't realize you watched Rick and Morty Season 7.
I watched through so much since we've last recorded.
Alright.
Yeah. Both were a lot of fun, but I do think that I prefer Black Mirror because it's a little bit more... I don't know, there's something about it because it kind of goes to... I don't want to say it goes to darker places, but there's more...
Supernatural.
Yeah. Which I mean, yeah, Rick and Morty's more sci-fi.
No. Black Mirror has always been a technology show.
Yeah.
This latest season, there was...
It's a bit more supernatural.
Supernatural.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but at one point a werewolf shows up. So...
No, you spoiled it!
Very much more supernatural this year. Well, I don't want to say more. That implies it's happened in previous seasons. No, this is the first supernatural occurrences.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just liked it. That's
pretty
generally
good.
about it, yeah.
You're next.
Coolest effects. Now, this can be any effects, but for my thing specifically, it was practical effects.
Yeah.
Because I was running on empty, and this was the only thing I could think of.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. And it goes to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Which
is the immediate thing that came to my mind
Yeah.
when the bomb blew up.
Yeah.
Which is why later we'll find out that it's on the list.
Okay.
On the best picture list.
Okay.
Carry on. You're wasting the listener's time by laughing.
It's just specifically the bomb was so well done.
Yeah.
Like, I know Nolan came out. I'm not sure if it was. I'm pretty sure it was after the movie came out, but it was somewhere around the release, and he was like, "Yeah, we did this whole thing, and we created like miniature sets and stuff so that the explosion would look bigger." Bigatures.
Not miniatures.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bigatures.
Yes.
We created bigatures.
We spoke about this on the episode.
Yes.
Where I explained the concept of bigatures. They're miniatures, but they're big.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, whatever. I'm just saying.
But yeah, we
This happened to you in your life. Why don't you remember this?
I don't remember a lot of stuff. Anyway, yeah, I really liked the way that it's one of those things, and I spoke about it at the time as well, where an explosion will go off far away, and you hear it immediately, and there's no shockwave. But with this,
Accurate.
Yeah, everything was perfectly accurate.
You just love accuracy.
That is true.
What the hell?
I'm a stickler for accuracy.
In love with Robin Hood. Carry on.
But yeah, that's my coolest effects for the year.
Well, I have one more category before Best Picture.
Yeah. Okay.
How many do you have?
I've got 5.
5 more categories.
No. Oh, sorry. No, I'm done.
Oh, was that your last one?
Yeah, those were my 5.
Okay, this is my last one.
Okay.
Before Best Picture, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's Worst Picture, which some people say is mean-spirited.
Okay.
But I feel you should call out bad things.
Okay.
So that it improves. Right?
Okay, yes, I see.
So in 10th place, I have Asteroid City.
Right.
Which I gave a 5.
Okay.
Certain people will say it's because I had a bad time at the theater.
Certain people.
Since then, I don't know why I pronounce it like that. Since then, I've rewatched it.
You made a mental typo.
Yes. Since then, I watched Asteroid City on, streaming.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Okay.
It truly fucking sucks, right?
Right.
And I saw this post online the other day where it's like the worst movies of 2023, and Asteroid City was there. The movie Ghosted with Anna de Armas and Chris Evans, and like 2 other garbage movies were on that list.
Okay.
I think The Meg was there. And like people were just replying, "Oh, you're doing this for attention."
Yeah.
Let me be clear. I'm not putting this on my worst picture list for attention.
Right.
That movie sucked.
Okay.
This guy is so far up his own ass.
Yeah.
All he has is a color palette. That movie means nothing. It's meandering nonsense and just pretentious garbage,
Right.
But he is a very, very good filmmaker.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up this thread a little bit later, but I gave Asteroid City a 5.
Okay.
In 9th place, Murder Mystery 2, which again I gave a 5. We did an episode on it.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. I have nothing much to say. I don't like this franchise. And when we did the commentary, I far preferred the first one.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Fair enough.
Something I didn't even know is a step down. Yeah. Then in 8th place, I have Fast X.
Okay.
Again, very disappointing. For me, it's been a very disappointing year.
But what about family?
Fuck them.
Okay, fair enough.
What if you born into a family of rapists? What then, asshole?
Then that is not a good thing.
Yeah, but what about family?
You know that's not what I meant.
But that's what you sound like.
Damn. Okay, anyway.
This movie is not even about family. It's about your friends that become so close to you, they become like a chosen family.
Yes.
Or like a found family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Family.
Let's move on.
Okay.
But yes, I thought Fast X sucked. And it was like a disappointment in relation to previous good movies within this franchise.
Yeah.
I think it's reached that point where they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They're just moving in circles. They realize that these movies make so much money and they're just trying to cash in.
Yeah.
In 7th, another 5, the last 5, I have Hypnotic.
Okay.
Which was on the way when we went to watch Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
It was the poster in front of the Beau is Afraid theater.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the toilet like 3 times during the movie, so I kept seeing that poster. It's kind of like you have these people who can who can fuck with your mind.
Right.
So you don't know what's real.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the movie, it's unclear to me whether the filmmakers know what's real or not.
Okay.
Like, it's it's Twist City.
Yeah.
There's a twist here, like, oh, this actually wasn't real. This was in your mind. And then 2 minutes later, actually, it wasn't in your mind. It was all real, but there's something else that's in your mind.
Oh.
And it's like, twist, no, that's not true. Here's another twist. Oh, that's not true. Here's another twist. There's nothing to grab onto.
Yeah.
If there's like, I don't know.
Okay.
I simply don't know.
Fair enough.
In 6th, I have Freelance, which
Okay.
I gave a 4. Rubbish movie. It should be higher because I regret paying money to go to a theater to see it. The next week it came out on streaming.
Yes.
And yeah, deeply upsetting movie.
Okay.
A worse version of Romancing the Stone,
Yes.
Indiana Jones, etc.
Yeah.
We spoke about this.
We did,
All of these,
yes.
a lot of these we did episodes on. Then, 5th, The Meg.
Yeah.
Another movie I regret spending money on. Like, I've told the story many times, but I really wanted popcorn
Yes.
and to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And they were just either movies I've seen before or baby movies.
Yeah.
And then they had The Meg, and I was like, all right, let's make it up. And it was a 2, and it was a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's The Meg 2. That's why I saw 2 there. And I said 2, but yes.
It's somewhere between a 2 and a 4 out of 10.
Yes, both Freelance and The Meg. I regret it, and they both should be higher because I paid money. Like, and in 4th, another 4, I have Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
Which, garbage movie.
Yeah.
I think there's like a good movie hidden in there,
Yeah.
but it's just so poorly made
Okay.
that it kind of falls apart.
Right.
3rd, I have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I gave a 4. It's so low budget. it's I don't know, like maybe like 100 rand, and this was made in Britain, so that's like £10.
Yeah.
They spent a tenner on this entire movie, bro. Like, there's some good shots. So again, like, I can see there's like some trappings of a good movie,
Right.
but it's very poor.
Okay.
In 2nd place, I have the Mario movie
Oh.
as a 3.
Oh.
Right. I should say for both Worst Picture and Best Picture, I've reconsidered every single movie
Yeah.
and re-rated them.
I see that.
So
yeah.
there's a bunch of things that you're gonna be like, oh, that's not what you gave before.
Yeah.
But at the end of every year, I just kind of sit down and like go through the movies again.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just had to do it a few days earlier.
Right.
I usually do it in the new year, like the
Yeah.
1st or the 2nd day.
Okay.
Now I did it on the 23rd.
Okay.
But anyway, 3rd place I have Mario as a 3.
2nd place.
Yes.
Yeah.
In 2nd place I have Mario as a 3.
Right.
It sucked.
Okay.
We did an episode. At the time I gave it a 4. I
Yeah.
bumped it down to a 3 because it just pisses me off.
Yes.
Because it could have been good,
Yeah.
I think.
I see.
But everything, I despise it.
Okay.
And yet it's not number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Lady Wallers.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know what the Daily Wire is?
No.
It's Ben Shapiro's,
Oh.
organization.
Like a newsletter kind of thing.
No.
Oh.
He has a whole setup,
Okay.
Like, he does YouTube videos, he does podcasts, he does, like, books.
Yeah.
So now they've recently set up, like, a studio
Okay.
to make movies and stuff.
Oh, right. I
Right?
see.
And not just that, they're expanding.
Okay.
So, like, they gave Jordan Peterson a contract.
Yeah.
They were trying to get Crowder in, but they couldn't come to an agreement. But basically, they've been expanding, and they made a
Okay.
movie,
Right.
which was called Lady Ballers,
Right.
which I've given a 0.
That is impressively low.
The thing is, I was thinking about doing, like, something comical, like Minus Infinity, right? But you get nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck off. This is a horrific, transphobic piece of shit,
Okay.
right? Which, that in and of itself deserves a 0.
Right.
But on a technical level, it fails on in every category. Like, this is allegedly a comedy.
Okay.
Because there's weird right-wing stuff that I laugh at all the time.
Right.
Because, like, broken clocks, etc.
Yeah.
Occasionally somebody will make a good joke by mistake.
Yeah.
Or, like, I'll laugh at something ironic. There's nothing ironic to laugh at in this movie. There's nothing, to appreciate, like, oh, that's a good shot. Or, like, oh, this was good acting.
Yeah.
Everything fucking sucks about this movie.
Okay.
And I hope they fuck off. By the way, here's a nice little tidbit. Ben Shapiro admitted that they wanted to do oh, sorry, I should tell you the plot of the movie. It's about, like, they find out that trans people can be on a woman's team. Well,
Okay.
male to female trans person.
Yeah.
Can be on a women's basketball team.
Right.
So they get a bunch of guys to pretend to be women.
Oh, I see.
Right? And they go to win a basketball championship.
It's like the Iranian football team.
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But he wanted to make a documentary.
Okay.
But they couldn't find evidence of this happening anywhere. So they had to make a fictional version of it. Right?
Okay.
The right wing kind of... What's the word? When you're, like, pointing out a problem, but you don't ever plan to do anything about it. You don't give a fuck. You're just doing it as, like a...
Just to
It's
do
called
something.
It's called concern trolling.
Okay.
You don't actually have any concern about this, but you're bringing it up as a big thing,
Yeah. Okay.
right? That's concern trolling. They're concern trolling about women's sports.
Right.
They're saying, "Ooh, what about all these women? They work so hard to, play sports, and now they can't play sports because of trans women."
Yeah.
Which they don't give a fuck about that. First of all.
Okay.
Second of all, it's not a big deal. The actual women players don't care.
Yeah.
They've said it many times. It's only people outside of the game that
Do care.
give that wanna protest and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 0.
Okay.
You get nothing. Get out of here.
Fair
Beat
enough.
it, nerd. Anyway, can we get to best picture?
I would say my worst picture of the year, well, for me personally, was Beau is Afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. But for me, I couldn't really get into it.
Wow.
Like, it was just so confusing to me.
Mm.
And I just never really liked it. I went and took a look at it again. I took a look at my notes, and I was like, maybe I could find another point somewhere, but nothing for me personally.
It's a metaphor, isn't it?
Yes.
Alright.
But yeah, that was
Yeah.
my worst movie of the year.
Alright. Best picture.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah.
So, should I go through my...
Yeah.
Number 10, Knock at the Cabin.
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. A lot of people hate this movie.
Right. Yeah.
They're calling it anti-gay
Yeah.
because a gay person dies at the end. I don't know. I loved it a lot. I thought it was great. I was considering giving Dave Bautista a Best Actor nomination.
Okay.
It's just that was a very stacked category, so I couldn't
Yeah.
kind of fit him in. But wonderful movie.
Okay.
I don't know why people hate it. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Number 9, I have No Hard Feelings, which I also gave an 8. Originally gave it a 9, but I've kind of cooled on it.
Mm.
Very funny movie. We spoke about this earlier, about like this is just not what the kind of movie they make anymore.
Yeah.
And if this were made 10 years ago, I wouldn't blink an eye at it.
Okay.
But because we're so lacking in good comedies, this just stood out to me like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
I had such a ball with it.
Mm.
Right? 8, we have Talk to the Hand,
Okay.
which I also gave an 8.
Okay.
I think I gave a 9 originally, but
Yeah.
again, as time goes on and you think about it more, it's like, maybe I was being too lenient,
Yeah.
right? Did we speak about Talk to the Hand?
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I feel.
It was my most disturbing, but
Yeah, it was disturbing. That means it achieved what it wanted to do.
yeah.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's trying to disturb you. So yes, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Number 7, 9 out of 10. I've got Dream Scenario.
Yeah. Great movie.
Great movie. I was considering 9 or a 10. Last episode I said it's a 10, but
Yeah.
I bumped it back down to a 9.
Okay. Fair enough.
Here we have a movie we haven't talked about. It's called The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which I gave a 9.
I'm sure we spoke about it in
Yes, I'm saying this episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we haven't spoken about it recently.
This is the proof that Asteroid City is bullshit.
Okay.
Because Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, directed by Wes Anderson as well.
Yeah.
And he has the style, but there's substance to it.
Yeah.
You know? This is, watch them back to back. Watch Asteroid City and watch The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, and you can see the contrast between, you know, when he has an actual writer with a good story behind it,
Yeah.
and him just fucking around,
Okay.
right? Yeah, watch it. It's a short movie. I think it's just under or over an hour.
I think it's just under an hour.
I can't remember right now, but yes, it's not a long movie. Well,
Yeah.
it's actually a short. Actually, I don't know what the classification would be, but it's shorter than a normal feature movie.
It's like a... it wouldn't be a short film. It's like a short movie.
Whatever.
Long, short film.
In fifth place, I have Bo is Afraid, which is, I've bumped it down to a 9.
Okay.
As time has gone on, again, I've kind of cooled on it.
Yeah.
I still think it's a phenomenal movie, well shot, etc.
Okay.
It's just the final act, I think, lets it down a little bit.
Okay.
So that's why I bumped it down to a 9.
Right.
I can see myself in the future bumping it back up to a 10
Yeah.
or whatever, depending on how I'm feeling. So at current moment, I have it as a 5. I have it at 5,
Yeah.
giving it a 9.
Right.
In fourth place, I have Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
Gave it a 9 as well. Initially a 10, bumped it down to a 9.
Right.
Great movie. Anything to say?
Not really, besides it's a great movie. I mean, what do you call them? I guess the 3 leads, pretty much.
Yeah, they all knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But again, De Niro is so far ahead of them.
Yeah.
No, they're great. It's just De Niro
He's just De Niro.
that's a life-changing performance.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It's gonna kickstart his career.
Yeah. This little Bobby De Niro kid. I'm on the lookout for him in the future. Right. Number 3, I have Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
Again, I gave it a 10, bumped it down to a 9.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Sam Ismail is my guy.
Yeah.
It's just,
He's one of you guys.
so who your guys? Sam Ismail.
Yeah.
One of them. I think I was just too excited
Yeah.
and too lenient the first time.
Okay.
I actually watched it again. I'm such a huge fan. And you can see the paintings on the wall are changing from scene to scene. You don't realize that. He does stuff like that just for fun.
So is that a story thing?
It is.
Oh.
But it's him also showing I'm a great director.
I can do this stuff.
You know what I said about Mr. Robot, where there's an entire episode where he doesn't say words.
Yeah.
There's an entire episode where it's done in one shot.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that where it's just Sam Ismail flexing hey, nobody can do this. I'm the only one who can do this. Right? Now, I said Leave the World Behind felt episodic.
Yeah.
And it felt like there was some pieces missing. So I would have preferred it to be a mini-series.
Okay.
Or something, giving a little bit more fleshing out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sam Ismail works better in long
Long format.
form, I feel.
Okay.
Because of I'm only comparing it with Mr. Robot, but well, he also did Homecoming, and yeah, I've only seen Homecoming.
Okay.
But yes, I will move on to the next one.
Okay.
Number 2, Past Lives.
Okay.
Which I originally gave a 9, but I was like, is it a 9 or a 10? And I decided on 9, but I've decided now to bump it up.
Okay.
And yeah, wonderful love story.
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier that like those 3 leads,
Yeah.
they bounce well off each other. It's just such a strong story.
Yeah.
Wonderfully acted, and yeah, nothing else to say.
Okay.
Number 1 should be extremely obvious.
Yeah, it's mine as well.
Christopher Nolan's best movie, I feel. I've actually gone back. I didn't mention it in recommendations, but I watched Inception and Interstellar a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's not one of my guys, but he should really be one of my guys. And Oppenheimer, I think, is the first, like, he's got his foot in the door.
Yeah.
Well, I like so many of his movies, like, I love the one about the magicians, the one, Memento, what's the magicians? The Prestige. I love The Prestige. I love Memento.
Yeah.
I like Insomnia.
Yeah.
Following is fine. Oh yeah, the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. I think the third Batman movie sucks.
Yeah.
The second one is amazing. First one is boring.
Okay.
But yes, this is his best movie. I had the best time at the movies watching this year.
Yeah, same.
It's, if they don't give it to him for this, that's how we know it's corrupt.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we spoke about this on the Oppenheimer episode. They changed the rules to make Best Picture a 10 instead of 5.
Yeah.
I'm 10 nominees instead of 5 nominees.
A 10-rated movie instead of a 5-rated.
Yes, because Dark Knight wasn't nominated.
Yes.
There was such a backlash to that. They had to expand the thing to 10 movies.
Yeah.
I don't believe Dark Knight is Oscar worthy.
Okay.
I believe it's an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But Oppenheimer is a strong 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
If they don't nominate him for this, there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's the other one? Interstellar.
Yeah.
I don't think Interstellar was also
Oscar.
Actually, it might have been. I can't remember that year.
Yeah.
If it was a strong or weak year, because you also have to think about the year.
Yeah.
But yes, if he doesn't win for this, then there's no hope.
Yeah.
Because Oppenheimer is the juice.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Yeah, your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's like it's so wonderfully shot in such a different way, I would say. Like, you see like regular shots in other movies where it's just like, they'll be having conversations and it'll be like over the shoulder shots or whatever. But this was just different. It was kind of stand out in how it was different. Because it was like, I don't know if it's weird that I liked it, but the Cillian Murphy shots where it's just like close-ups of his face.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about, of like subtle, understated acting.
Yeah.
That you don't, upon first watch, you don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
And on the second time I watched it, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This guy's really, doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's doing a lot while doing very little.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not much else to say about it. I would say we've raved about it for most of this year.
And it deserves to be, bro.
Yeah.
The
It's
best
so
movie of the
good.
year.
Yeah.
That, well, is that it?
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like,
Give 2 likes.
etc. Importantly, needs to be a 5-star. Well, just give any review. We need the fucking engagement, goddammit.
Just review us, please.
Yes, give it a 0 and like write. I'll try not to give it a 0. But write a review. Let us know like Are we fucking up here? What should we be doing?
Yeah.
I know this has been a very low energy episode.
Yeah.
Because amongst a number of things, we are getting cooked.
Yeah.
It is so hot. We're on death's door. But yes, please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries. We've recorded so many fucking commentaries over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just commentaries
so
out the
many.
wazoo, mate.
Yeah?
Well, some of them will go on the main feed.
Yeah.
And you probably may have heard it already.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You can find all our links at paicip.com. That's PAICIP.com. Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member.
Tell everyone.
And, yeah, goodbye.